Tafon.
I hear Cameroon's nice this time of year.
Hey.
Kidding. I say that because 2 years ago, this time of year, I was over next door in Chad, so I know it's the rainy season and it's brutally hot. Do you ever get back over there for any reason?
I've never actually been back since I came here in 2005. You know, that's quite a bit of funds to go back, and I don't have those funds to go back right now. But definitely looking forward to the time when I'm able to go back and actually connect back with my roots a little bit, which would be something I'm looking forward to.
I understand. Yeah, I've talked to Dana White about this many times, publicly, especially before the pandemic. I know that, putting UFC in Africa was definitely high on the agenda, and obviously the pandemic kind of set that back. But we could still possibly see that in the future. My question to you is, though, where do you think they will put it? I mean, I think Morocco, South Africa are some probably, easy options, but where else do you think they might be able to be successful there?
Honestly, yeah, those countries that you kind of name is actually what I already had in my head as far as like a place that would be successful. South Africa is mostly like in the leads for me right now. I can't really think of anywhere else. Maybe Ghana, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe like Ghana or Nigeria, especially with all these.
Oh yeah, Nigeria for sure. I don't know why. Yeah, Nigeria definitely would be definitely a big draw for that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We can't talk about Cameroon and fighting without mentioning, Francis Ngannou. Obviously, he made a huge leap of faith to go over to another organization.
Yeah.
In his prime, still going to dabble into boxing. When you heard about that news, what did you think? You think he made a good move?
I think he made a good move. He seems to have landed in a pretty good place, and I'm definitely much respect to him for him standing in what he believes in, and I definitely have some respect for him for that. So definitely, he seems like he's winning right now. So I hope he keeps winning and keeps making his choices his own.
Well, I can tell you from experience, being over there, especially meeting like different Cameroonians throughout, Chad and different places I was at. A lot of these guys put UFC on the radar in Africa. A lot of people didn't even know what MMA and UFC was until you start to see some of those guys. So, how much, pride does that give you? And do you have, did you grow up in a community where was there a lot of other like Cameroonians and Africans around you?
Where I grew up, yeah, definitely. Everybody was Cameroonian, but like.
I mean in the States.
In the States, oh yeah, the DMV is definitely a prime spot for African, especially like Cameroonians, Ethiopians, Nigerians. That's definitely like the hot spot. It's like that's one thing when I came here, it was kind of a better adjustment for me because I had a lot of people, like similar people from my country, people who were neighboring my country. So the culture was still there. So yeah, I definitely had a good upbringing even though I was here as far as culture-wise.
Yeah, well, hopefully you get a chance to go back there, soon because you'll be a national hero for sure. Last thing, speaking about Francis and about Africa, as the final frontier for MMA, they also made him like an ambassador for the organization in Africa. What do you think that looks like? In other words, like, what do you think his role is going to be? I mean, he's already established as a national hero in his own country. But then how do you branch out from there and promote the sport in the continent of Africa?
I'm going to need you to phrase that question a little bit for me to understand it better.
What do you think needs to happen, in other words, to generate enough interest to where a major organization can go over there? And, I mean, do you think it's possible? I mean, some of those countries we mentioned that have, like, rugby, I think rugby is a pretty easy transition. A lot of rugby fans are also MMA fans.
Mm-hmm. I think a big part of that will be more athletes like me, myself, people who come from that region, coming out here and shining and showing that our people back home, we're natural fighters. I said this a lot of times. So we just need the opportunity. Francis got an opportunity, and look what he got, and I got an opportunity. I'm here also still chasing to further shine a light on the talent that's from Africa. So I think more athletes like us, because we branch out no matter what type of sport we choose to follow, excuse me, we definitely excel pretty well. It's just our thing is just opportunity.
Thank you.
Yes.
Tafon.
Hey, what's up, man?
It's been over a year since you last fought, man.
Yes, sir.
Why the long layoff?
Just chain of things, you know. I was supposed to fight, I think, the end of last year, but my opponent got hurt. Then I got a new opponent. Then I got hurt. And then at that time, I was already in pretty much good shape. And I was like, the plan was eventually, coach has always told me that 85 is where we're going to be. And I was already pretty much getting ready for a fight, so I was pretty low enough. So we were like, all right, cool, let's go ahead and make this transition now, because I kind of got better at my discipline as far as controlling my weight a little bit better. So that's why I kind of still wanted to do it right. So we decided to make sure we took the time we needed to just lock down on the discipline before we get back in here, because I still don't want to come in here, because my first 185 cut was quite a bit of weight. And I want to come in here being like this time where it's like I'm actually fully myself. I mean, I'm still drained, but I can still be fully myself and go in there and be as a high percentage performer.
Yeah, I remember talking to you after your last cut to middleweight, and it was brutal. I guess compare that to this. Like, is it just night and day?
Night and day. Like, every time I've had to make cut, I mean, it's gotten better, but I would say this has been the best I've felt making it down to this weight, 185. Because as you see, man, I still got a smile nice and loud on my face right now. Usually, I come in here would be quite a drag. But today, I'm like, I'm still up, woke up this morning. I even had some food on this day of cutting, and then coming out here and doing it. It's like, I know this is cut day, but I'm still able to come out here and give you guys some energy as far as answering your questions, and not, even though it's still there, it's just not as much. Next time, it's going to be even better.
Losing 2 in a row, you're not used to losing. So, like, what's that do to the mentality?
Well, I mean, it's definitely, it seems worse, because honestly, my Bills beat me up way more than than anything else, But this one, it just seems so much worse, because it's basically in the eyes of the world. Everybody gets to see it, so everybody has their own opinion to put on it. So it just feels like it's worse. Just me coming to the understanding of, like, I go through losses every day, and this one, even though it's kind of amplified because of the eyes, I just need to get my mind right and, do what I need to do. It's part of the game. It's something I already kind of knew. Coaches, I've had teammates around me who I've seen dealt with losses, so I've kind of understand, had people around me who can talk me from being down, bringing me back up. All I did was basically just go back to my routine, stick to it, and just let time do its thing.
Have we yet to see the best Tafon Nchukwi yet?
I don't think you guys have gotten to see the best Tafon Nchukwi yet, because my bad vices of food has always caused me to have to do a little bit too much. I always on like over 100% getting ready for fights, and never really enough time to let my body rest and recover. And I feel this time you guys are going to see a better version of myself.
What do you think about AJ Dobson?
Oh, man, yeah, he's quite an athlete, man. And I know one thing, too, he's also coming off of 2 losses. So both of us right now in the same mindset of, like, it's only going to be one person walking out of there with their hands raised. So I know he's going to be coming in there with some fire. So we're going to be ready for whatever he comes with. And, yeah.
Do you think the fight just has that much more stakes because you both are coming off 2 losses, maybe fighting for your guys' jobs? Like, is it going to be that much more intense?
I mean, at least for me, it's like I feel like it's on that level. I hope he's feeling on the same, but I feel like he is, because we're both in the highest level of the sport right now, and this right here is going to mean a lot for our careers. So,
finally, how do you get your hand raised on Saturday?
How did I get what?
How do you get your hand raised on Saturday?
Hey, tune in and find out.
Did you get to catch AJ Dobson's last fight against Petrosian?
Yeah, I got to watch a couple of his stuff. Yeah.
What'd you make of that fight?
I mean, I learned a lot from that fight. I mean, I'm going to implement a lot of stuff that I saw from the fight into my game plan, and I'm not expecting him to be the same person when he fought him, but I'm going to be ready for that person and whoever else or whatever else he has learned throughout that time. So I'm ready.
As someone from Cameroon, did you grow up playing any other sports, or was it just always fighting since day one?
Oh, yeah. Soccer has always been what's like anywhere you go in Cameroon, there's people playing soccer. I played as well. I mean, I wasn't the best, but if soccer is always a thing, that's always going to be in my heart.
Were you a fan of Samuel Eto'o?
Oh, yeah, man. Come on. Yeah, Samuel Eto'o. It's just I kind of fell off a little bit more in soccer when I came here and, trying to adjust to a lot of new things. and then found myself into this, throwing hands and catching checks.
Thank you. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Just one question right here. I'm just looking at your record right now, and I mean, still super early on in your UFC career, but the guys that you have lost to, I know nobody likes to take a loss, but the guys that you have lost to, I think their combined record in the UFC is something like 14-3. So what do you think that says about, I mean, the level of competition that you face so early in your UFC career, and also the confidence that the UFC has in you to put you up against guys with that, on that caliber so early in your career?
Hey, so far I can't be mad with the route that I'm going to as I climb, because getting to face guys like these that I fought throughout my career so far, it's just giving me a boost as far as like my experience is being kind of. I'm getting a booster with every person I fight. I get a little boost because I know that if I'm able to face people like this, I'm not getting an easy walkthrough in the UFC. You know, I'm climbing through the ladder the right way. I'm not really trying to duck anybody. I'm in the highest level of the sport, so I got to face high-level competition. So it is what it is.
Your belief in timing is something that's very strong and very important for you. How do you feel about the time or the timing for you being here right now, this week, in this moment, leading up to Saturday?
I think it's the timing. Everything is happening as it's supposed to right now. I can feel it now. Like everything that I faced leading up to here, I feel like it's all supposed to have happened. And now we're just going to continue on with the story, see what else time brings.
Do you hope that things speed up a little bit more, or are you just happy with the pace right now and you're looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next?
Speed up is definitely not the way. I'm now in the mindset of taking the time and enjoying every single moment of it. I don't need it to be rushed or anything. Let it come. Let me gain the experience that's coming with it. And, hey, wherever I end up in the future, I mean, I have a pretty clear glow of where I want to be, and I feel like all the obstacles that are coming towards my way, and I'm facing them one by one. And I'm gonna be happy at the end of the day regardless, because I know I'm here, I'm present, and I'm also gonna take advantage of every little bit I can to enjoy this life, because it's a shitty world out here. So I'm gonna make the best of every little bit of it.
And you're doing it with a great smile, and we're wishing you the best on Saturday.
I appreciate it. Thank you.